Now, Tracy has a secret and we went to see if we could find out what it was.
I think it's safe. I've got to be really careful. My parents are upstairs and I really want to buy a console, but they hate it. They're going to go mad if they find out. What should I do? I've got £200 from my grand's inheritance and I've just got to spend it. I can't keep it. Do you think I should buy an N64 or a Sony PlayStation? What shall I do?
That's wonderful, Paul. What should you do with her £200? I know what I'd do with it, but it wouldn't be a games console either, because I've already got one.
As a techie, it's quite simple. Whatever's the most technical, the most new, the most recent, because things do have a tendency to go out of date fairly quick, get the most technical item you can with the money that you have.
Now, Ashley is over there warming up his fist, ready to arm wrestle.
Now, I've been waiting, since the N64's come out, I've been carrying around £200 in my pocket to wait for the moment to become upon me for me to buy it. I bought a PlayStation the day it came out, and I've never regretted it. The PlayStation, you're talking about, there's about 250 games out there. Now, specifically, you've got £200 to spend. The N64, OK, brilliant machine, no doubt about it, yeah? But you're talking about the console and one game, yeah? Go to Toys R Us, somewhere like that, PlayStation and 5 games, yeah? Next week, you've got some money. The Nintendo 64, you've got another 4 games to choose from at the moment. It's probably perhaps 10 games, you know, over the next couple of weeks. But still, with a PlayStation, you've got an enormous library of software. And so if you want to play today, I would buy a PlayStation. If you want to play in 6 months' time, the Nintendo 64...
The N64. And very, very quickly, Ashley, your preferences?
Well, with a game like Mario or N64, I think you're right with that one game. I could play that for 6 months.
Well, I'm sorry there, Ashley, you're outvoted. I think generally the idea is N64 is going to be quite a good idea, but the PlayStation's good too. It depends what you want. We haven't been very helpful there, have we? Well, if she wants to keep a secret, then perhaps she should buy a Game Boy even. OK, well, I'm afraid we have to stop there. Not because we want to, but because it's time for Ashley's medication. The doctors say he's not allowed too much excitement in one day. Isn't that right, Ashley?
Time for my ointment, yes.
Well, it's something to do with being surrounded by lawyers all day, probably. Now, keep those questions into us, please do. We don't mind how they get here. They can snail mail to Chips With Everything, P.O. Box 91, London E149TN, or email to chipswithEverything@msm.com. My thanks to my guests, Ashley, Paul and Asher. You've been wonderful. They're always wonderful, aren't they? Stay with us, because Global Village is going to be right after the break.